Hi everybody, welcome to She Who's Staying on the Moon Tarot. I'm going to be doing a reading for Taurus today, Sun, Moon, Rising, for the year 2023. All right, here we go. I already laid out your cards. First house, Uranus, the world. All right. So, first house. Looks good. Okay. Now, for your oracle cards, your animal totem oracle cards, I picked 3. I'm going to be doing 3 of those for each sign for this year coming up. And it seems like you are going to be going through some sort of transformation this year. And it seems like, because I have 2 cards of transformation, and I have another card that speaks of feeling at home and comfortable and secure and feeling connected to spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, from a place of security, knowing, having faith as well, because you're feeling secure. There is something here that might be transforming within the year 2023 in regards to your home, where you live, how you live. There's a big change that's coming into your life. Your whole life may change, but this also may have to do with how you are coming up in the world, or something to do with you changing something about yourself and that changing your entire life. There is some sort of great change that will be coming in this year for you, Taurus. Your your oracle cards from, I forget the name of this deck, isn't that terrible? Oh well. You might be seeing 1111 a lot. There's 1 and 1. 11 is going to be some sort of, it's either your 11th house or the 11th month of the year. Okay? Something about that is going to be significant. It's also 1 being the self. It goes back to the self. And the Jinn card within this deck speaks of that fiery kind of mystery hunting, kind of, going through what you can do for others, what can they do for you, and the decisions you make. There's a very impulsivity to this, but at the same time, it's coming from a passionate place. There's also a duality, seeing the duality in things. And I can't help but feel it's almost like a physical transformation of some kind. If you've been working on your physique in some way or form, maybe you're going to be getting tattoos, maybe you're going to be changing your hair, maybe you're going to be working out more so you're in better shape, your body is changing. This can go either way. It can be like, I want to put on weight, I want to lose weight. I'm very passionate about representing myself in the world in a new way, or showing the world something new about myself. And shapeshifter to me is also kind of like an internal thing where you might be wearing a different kind of hat now, and people might have not seen you wearing this hat before. You might be doing something new. You might be offering a new service that is completely changing how others are looking at you. It seems like Aries also had some kind of transformation, but this is coming off in a slightly different kind of flavor. I see like there's also some sort of movement, whether that be through astral travel, because this card can speak of literally astral travel, but it also can speak of believing in something that may not be the norm or what's respected in belief. Believing in yourself as well, believing that you can make these changes, and it's kind of a mystical experience, because a jinn is a mystical being. It's people think of the genie in the bottle type situation, and the genie grants you wishes. This year you could be granted some sort of wish that takes you to another place, another level, and you may have to leave one aspect of your life behind, or it may feel like the life you had might look like it burned to the ground, because there's like not anything left that's the same. There's a lot of different coming in, not to scare anybody, but it seems like there'll be big changes. I have the fire here, the candle connecting, to spirit. I have the Phoenix card. The Sea Eagle is considered the Phoenix card of this deck. And then the Shapeshifter, there's just great transformation, and it can literally be a physical thing or about a place. So you may be going to another place in one way, shape, or form. And with this, it seems like your true self will be more expressed. Your desires will be more expressed. You'll be coming forward about things that you want, and it'll be taking you places. Okay, I think I got that out. So, first house, there is some woman of significance that may be playing a role in terms of your physical body in some way, shape, or form. Your health, it could be a doctor, a female doctor. She's a very intellectual person of some kind. And helping you complete some process with your body. So if you have a personal trainer that's a woman, if you are a woman, this could literally be that you are completing a cycle within your physical body at this time, whether it be through some sort of treatment with a doctor, there's also, those of you who are girls or women, there's some sort of creative idea that's birthed into reality. Like there is some sort of almost, there's like a service to others as well flavor to this, because Uranus is here. Outer space, it's very much like a whole new you kind of being born into existence. So this might be literally where the transformation is coming in. But somehow a woman will factor major in your physical body, in your self-expression. It might be a role model who's teaching you the ropes on how to do something, present yourself in a certain way. You might be expressing yourself in a more feminine way, or just connecting to another woman in a physical way, for those of you who are interested in women as partners. But a woman will be kind of creating something new, whether it be a baby. The Ace of Swords is like the epiphany. So it's getting a very creative idea. It's inspiring. It's inspired by this completion, and seeing the sun and the world card together, very much about birthing something into reality. So you might be physically having a baby this year, or you might be kind of your essence of who you are might be very creative this year. You might be playing more sports. You might have some sort of creative writing project as well. It could be sci-fi related. I'm just going to say that out there. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the second house. If anything else comes back, I will grab it. All right, Saturn in the second. The sun, again, so close to the other sun. I'll put this here. I'm sorry if you can't see where I'm putting the cards, guys. I only got so much room. It's a big spread. All right, so you have Saturn, the sun, the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and the Lenormand card, the Broom, and the Whip. It might be a challenge to kind of really get a grasp on your financial situation this year. And you might be new at a job. You might be learning something. You might be literally learning something at school and going to work at the same time. And you might feel like you're not able to, there's a lot of hard work. You will be valuing the hard work and learning that you're putting into something. But it is a lot of work, and you will feel like new to this. If this is something that you are because Saturn is also about, authority as well. So it's got Saturn's limiting, okay? So you might be feeling a little bit limited in terms of being patient with something. Also in terms of, your financial growth and getting resources that you need. You might need to think of things creatively in a different, get creative about being resourceful in terms of certain things that you value in your life, getting things secondhand, because the Whip card is also a cyclical kind of, card where, and it's also, the 11 is here as well. That's very interesting because I said the 11 was showing up here, 1 and 1 in numerology. Eight of Wands, fast communication, passionate communication coming in. It feels like there's a slowdown in terms of some kind of project, some kind of schooling. There might be a drag within this, but the sun is such a positive card, so it kind of softens everything. It's kind of like too much all at once might be, a little bit daunting. So it's kind of almost softening the amount of influx of information that you'll be gaining this year or learning, taking into consideration in terms of what you desire, what you've been trying to accomplish in your financial sphere of your life. Having the sun there next to the lady is maybe making me think that a woman that you work with could be very heavily involved in your understanding of what you should be worried about, what you should be kind of prioritizing. Okay? And Saturn being here in the second house is very prioritizing things in a very methodical, like goal oriented, keeping you focused, slowing things down as well. So it's still fun though, because the sun is here. So the sun and Saturn reminds me of the Four of Pentacles, okay? And although the Four of Pentacles is not here in this house, I can't help but think that flavoring is going on. So it could be during the time of January or this later in this month that you start to feel like things are starting to kind of need some cleaning up, some tending to, in terms of what you're valuing and getting to that goal that you're hoping for in the year, which is very, very January of us, very New Year's Eve resolution type thing. But it's saying anything that you're putting the work in, that you're cleaning up, that you're organizing, that you're learning as well, the hard work that you put into learning something new, it's going to be a slow kind of movement forward. There may be like you want to get going on some aspect of it, but you can't until you learn the basics first. Saturn being there will make sure that by the time comes around this next year, you will have mastered whatever you're looking to find in your world, or to that you've been waiting for a while. Okay, third house. Jupiter. It's very nice. Jupiter, the Eight of Wands again in reverse. Huh. The Nine of Wands. The Four of Swords. Your energy is going to be precious to you this year. And you're going to have to be able to learn how to balance it in terms of especially your immediate environment, that you're surrounding people in your life. Somebody in your life, a sibling, a cousin, could be having some love, kind of recovering from a breakup of some kind, and they're feeling a little bit wounded. They're taking rest during this period. But there's a lot of expansion that comes in within the right connections. There's a lot of Jupiterian influence here. So Jupiter in the third, growing your connections, growing your ideas, growing your communications with other people in your life. There's an expansion of that. So maybe there's a need to kind of know when to shut off the noise, like during this period, because it might be a little bit too draining on you and your energy is going to be precious, it's saying. Now, having the Eight of Wands both in the second and the third house in reverse, this is letting me know that there's some sort of connection between what you're valuing and what your resources are and those in your immediate environment. So you might not be able to communicate with those around you as much, or your creative flow might feel a little bit slowed down. That doesn't mean it's not coming in. It's kind of taking a pause. Maybe you need to take a pause as well, because there's some sort of healing that is going on during this period of the year and this sector of your chart. And it could have to do with taking a break from a relationship in order to find oneself and tend to one's own needs. And there's a slowing down of communication in that department. But with Jupiter here, it is very benevolent. It is very lucky. So people around you, the connections that you're making, the ideas that you're having, how you're thinking is expanding. You are getting a little bit more broad in your scope of how you're thinking. And it could be through being creative with your resources that you meet somebody that becomes a valuable asset or has resources in your immediate environment. You might meet somebody that has the resources that you need, and through making connections and communicating this year, you will be able to kind of resource from other people. Or other people might be the inspiration for great ideas. It's a very fortunate kind of placement. If you're a writer, taking time out to take care of yourself might be a great kind of writer's block cure. There's something here about... Also, if you love to do meditation or anything that's kind of spiritual, and if you go to church, you might meet somebody in your day-to-day, in your day-to-day life. The sun is a representation of Sunday. So this could be like you go to church on Sunday and you end up meeting the love of your life, or it becomes like, your husband, or et cetera, et cetera. There's something coming in that is kind of some kind of love of peace and quiet as well. It might slow down in terms of or get quiet in your immediate environment somewhere. You might go to a library. There's some sort of quiet place that you will be enjoying in your day-to-day life. You'll enjoy the walk to work more in the morning. It'll almost be kind of therapeutic for you. You won't feel like you have to be on the defense necessarily. There could be a pause within a relationship with a sibling. It could have been an argument in the past or something sad that had happened between the two of you. And so you'll be healing your own heart and taking the time to get clarity mentally on what's been going on. And so the communication may slow down, but with Jupiter here, it's expanding everything. So it may end up growing the connection for the better. It's a very fortunate card. All right, fourth house. The South Node. And the Queen of Cups. The Hierophant. The Magician in reverse. And the Clouds. They're jumping back here. A woman that you work with, you might really become close with or have a relationship with. Love that you didn't see. So, or love that's confusing. Your home life, your past. You're remembering your past a lot, your childhood. There'll be things that'll come up maybe that remind you of glimpses of your past, of your childhood. And it may come a bit foggy about you might be confused about how you... Give me 1 second. You might be concerned about how to manifest a new living situation or go back to a place that you used to live in the past. Because you might be overwhelmed with how things are done, like the red tape of it all. You want to feel connected to your home, to where you fit in, right? Where you come from. You want something that reminds you of the past. It may not be the ideal time to move, but you might be also getting away from how things were done in the past, traditions that you were raised in. You might be confused about how to be able to manifest from the dogma that you were taught in childhood, or the steps it's going to take in order to reprogram yourself emotionally from your childhood. It seems like there was some depression that might have been some confusion or the inability to see that somebody was being manipulative within the past. But this might have connected you more to your emotions and spirit through going through this process. It also could be that the way you've been in the past, and through your memories of your childhood and, the past, Doesn't have to necessarily be when you were 5 years old, but the magician uses his resources as well. And it seems like you might be confused about not having what you need in order to move forward with making progress in your life within this sector. So you might want to move, you might not have the money to move, or you don't know how you're going to be able to move. And the kind of system of how things are done, how other people do things, is kind of maybe making it seem like you're having to reconsider this at this time. There's some sort of divine feminine presence or motherly figure that might be coming in and kind of emotionally nurturing you within the home sector of your life or within your family. There is some sort of remembering a family member as well. So maybe you're trying to kind of remember how your grandmother used to do something, maybe in the kitchen, or how she kind of was the salt of the earth, and you want to embody that kind of persona. You want to be able to be more like this person. Not that you're copycatting them or, to make you feel less unique. You definitely are unique because your first house, who you are as a self, is very unique. You might want to be more like somebody from your family, though. Or they might want you to be like them. And it doesn't seem like so that's what's causing the confusion. You're unable to manifest maybe something within the family sector or in the home sector because you're going about it through the eyes of somebody else's rules, maybe. And maybe it's about getting in touch with your emotions more in order to kind of understand what really emotionally drives you and what you're good at. And I maybe going back to the past in your childhood is going to allow you to find out what that is. Maybe that wasn't nurtured, back in the day. Maybe there was, rules that you were raised up in that didn't allow you to kind of be your own self in your childhood. And now is a time for you to kind of like be reborn into that very unique and awesome individual without having necessarily... You don't want to live a double life. It feels like there could be some confusion about there's a duplicity here. So there's a double life of some kind, and remembering the past, but also not being that person that you were in the past anymore, and maybe trying to go back to it. And so there's this kind of clash between who you were and who you are now. And maybe people in your family are just confused about these decisions or this new lifestyle or something that's going on there. 5th house. The North Node. So we have the South Node, the North Node. The Nine of Wands again. The Moon in reverse. Page of Wands, and the dog. The future is coming in. A child could be very significant during this year for you in terms of how you're having fun, sports. You could be coaching, some of you, at some point this year. A friend's child could also be very significant. A friend could give you some news about a secret that, or tell you a secret that leads you to be kind of their protector, or maybe you might be a little defensive over them. You might be watching out for them, but there's some sort of secret that leads somebody to be a little bit daunted, right? There's some sort of needing to look deeper within something. Something is not as what it seems, but at the same time, it's the future. There's something, that a secret that is going, or news that has been kept from you, that will be kind of a benefit. It might not feel like it at first. You might feel like a little overwhelmed for your friend or for this situation, but it is a positive thing, and it's a sign of what's to come. Also, a child could have a secret friend. I'm thinking of more of like an imaginary friend. Somebody could be just, there's also hide and go seek here. There could be like a hide and go seek game with one of your nephews or nieces or siblings that are very much younger than you. Somebody could be also bullied at school or in sports, but I'm seeing more of like you being exhausted from spending time with a young person that has a lot of energy. This also can be about a newer friend that you didn't see coming into the forefront this year, who could be younger than you. They could be a kind of a fiery little sprite of a person. there's some sort of like you defending them or them defending you. That somebody's got your back. Somebody's very loyal to you. This also could just be you being very excited about some news in terms of some being faithful to your own secrets and defending them. You might be like secretively like working on a creative project, and you might be just, it's your baby. You're very protective of it, very loyal to it. And there's success here as well, because it's what moves us into the future. It's the head of the dragon. Yeah, it's telling you not to worry, that whatever happens in terms of your creativity, your children, it's all going well. And you have to have some trust. Could be a dramatic year for you. All right, so Venus in the 6th house, the 5 of Pentacles, Judgment, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Anchor. Those of you who are servers in the food industry, you may have been you might be in a place of employment this year that's been kind of not, the money hasn't been that great. You might be feeling left out, like, from being able to do the things you want with your money, that from what you do during the day your job might be kind of taxing you right now and not giving you back as much as you put in. However, and this also can go for your health as well, I see that through making a decision, coming to the realization and making a decision about something that's felt kind of lack in your life, in terms of your finance, in terms of your health, in terms of your beauty, you are going to be making a call that ends up securing a career or some sort of abundance in your life that is going to be for the longer run. Okay? You might just get pushed to the point of like, oh no, I can't deal with this anymore. This job it's just not cutting it. And you get a new job and it's so much better for you this year. It's also about what spiritually calls to you. You might find a new career from doing what you really are interested in. And that could lead to some sort of legacy and abundance that's for the long run. The Anchor is about career. It's about securing something and holding it in place, anchoring it down. You might find a place within the sphere of career that you really kind of can hunker down and really get some good money coming from that job. Now, in terms of health, there could have been some issue you were having, and for the longest time you were feeling really frustrated by it, and it was affecting, how your glow, how you were looking, how you were feeling, and through some sort of epiphany, some sort of finally getting fed up and then doing some kind of digging, you know, to find some enlightenment about the situation and kind of better your life, you end up stumbling upon some sort of information or insight that helps you to kind of create security within your health and be able to share that information, and that positive information with other people to help them as well. If you have a job in the beauty industry, you might have felt like it wasn't going very well, or your previous job wasn't going very well. This is like starting a family business as a full-time job. This is, very pleasing energy. And Venus is the ruler of the second house, which helps me to think that maybe you're going to school to learn something and it's not been coming to you as fast as you would like. In the end, you will be very successful with this. And this could have to do with what I was talking about over here. So keep plugging at it, keep going at it, do the work, even if it's daunting, because here I see hard work pays off and there's quite a bunch of abundance coming in. All right. Partnerships, relationships, the moon, very nice. Excuse me, my stomach is hungry. The moon, the Ace of Swords, again with the Ace of Swords. Very nice. Being in the opposite house, perfect. The Five of Wands again. The Three of Pentacles. And the House. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Five of Pentacles. We didn't have the Five of Wands yet. Getting caught up and carried away. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to, moon in the 7th. You're going to be more emotional and nurturing with your partners in career, in your romantic life. You're going to be more emotionally available and in touch with your own emotions and those around you. And this is going to be something that is going to help you kind of connect the dots in terms of how you're thinking and how you're feeling about things and others in your life. There may be this kind of push and pull and competitive energy that comes in within the sphere of your relationships this year. You might feel like working with others might be a challenge to a certain degree within the sphere of work or in romance. It might be hard to get on the same page, but it seems like with the Ace of Swords here, it's very successful. There's those of you who are women might be buying a home. or at least there's a privacy as well. So there's a sharing of a private space, and there's kind of competition. So you might be feeling a little bit like competitive with those that you share things with in terms of a home. So if you have roommates, you might be collaborating with them in some sort of competition as well. There's a privately displaying emotion as well. You might be very private about your displays of emotion, but you will be getting more comfortable, I believe, with sharing those. You'll be understanding yourself emotionally more and being able to share that with others. There is some sort of push and pull between what you're thinking and how you're practically going about it, expressing yourself. So you might be working or hyper focused on something or someone in your life, and the other people might be competing for your attention in terms of relationships. But it seems like whatever's new is going to be very important and kind of carry you into a successful place within your partnerships. You could be working very closely with the family on something, with your family, and there might be some healthy kind of competition in terms of financial goals also. And the Ace of Swords is kind of like the attainment of some sort of goal, or this is some sort of achievement, right? And there might be a competition in terms of people, within your that you live with, that you're related to, or that you share a space with, that might be kind of all wanting to get there. There might be some kind of competition as well that your partner or your workplace is entered into, and there's a victory there. There could be some squabbling with a partner about money and how and where to put the money in terms of the home. But it seems like everything works itself out. All right. So partnerships are looking good. You're looking emotionally connected to people. The 8th house, Neptune. I'm liking this. The 8 of Pentacles. The 10 of Swords. The Page of Cups. And the Star. Neptune in the 8th. Oh, psychic. Also, super taboo, and there might be a taboo work relationship here. Those of you who are connected to some sort of younger Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio type of person, there could have been an ending and you throw yourself really heavy into work. This also could be the scattered flirtations, a lot of flirtations. it's also a lot of different artistic adventures and having to end one in order to focus heavily on another one and master one. So I feel like there is this kind of very scattered energy that you've been kind of having many irons in the fire, right? And you're having to really kind of, one of them either will go south in one way or another. There'll be a culmination about how you're thinking about this endeavor or project or whatever. It could have to do with other people's resources. And it either ends for you or you end it because it's been a strain on you in some way, shape, or form, or there's some sort of betrayal. You feel like maybe something you're doing is not really natural. It's betraying your own instincts. A power that you don't see, Neptune in the 8th house. A power that you don't see, or this could be having to do with some sort of abuse of power within some kind of shared environment. It could be a work environment. So you might witness somebody else going through something within the workplace that's an abuse of power of some kind. This could have to do with people having relations at work, or somebody that you are growing fond of, also that you share your time, your energy, your money to, could betray you in terms of their emotions or their finances, or within the work sector. So you might feel like you throw yourself into work more because of this. The Page of Cups is how we express our emotional world. It's news that makes us uplifted and excited and in touch with our own emotions, and that gives us, that we feel emotionally connected to or emotionally inspired by, right? And the star is dream come true as well. So some dream could be kind of exciting you. It's also the 8th house is the place of rebirth, right? You're being reborn, okay? You're seeing things in a new way. You're traveling places you've never been, whether that be spiritually or physically. And there's you might have some sort of experience in terms of your dreams, your dreamscape, your sleep, you might have an astral travel experience that kind of makes you feel like a kid again in terms of how you emotionally are interpreting your inner subconscious world, right? And the world around you. And that might also, you might be betraying yourself in some sort of way, because all this time you've believed one way, and now you're very, very interested, and kind of your interest is piqued, and you're emotionally kind of rocked in maybe a positive way by there being some sort of experience that you're having in this department, and that's paranormal, that's psychic, that's all those things under there. Now, if I look at it this way, the cycles of the stars. So there's some sort of astrology. If you are into astrology, this is something that you might be very, very interested in this year and getting further, deeper involved in learning how to do. The movement of the planets, the ebb and flow of energy as well. Saturn and Neptune being opposite each other, meaning there's a way of doing things. There's an authority on whatever you're learning or whatever you're valuing, and so, but there's also this kind of, there's like the tradition of how we do things, right? And then there's this kind of effervescent, kind of elusive energy of Neptune in that eighth house that's kind of like, so there's like this push and this pull. It's like a very interesting dichotomy or balance or flow of energy. And I think that somehow you'll be connecting the dots in terms of this interest that you have. You might betray your work. You might betray to go for something that you really are interested in. Also, this, I don't like the Ten of Swords though. So even when I have a bunch of good cards around it, having Neptune in the eighth, there's not a clear delineation, division of power. So, and it could be at work. So just be careful about that. There could be somebody you could be somebody who's very friendly to a lot of people, or somebody could be very friendly with a lot of people that you're sexually involved with, and you might have really kind of been very emotionally caught up in them for a while, and you find out that that is what's been going on, and maybe there's, because of that betrayal, you throw yourself headlong into, working at your work or whatever. You're getting more spiritual about how you share yourself with others. Also, someone younger than you could become ill at some point, and you kind of get to work spiritually on this person, whether it's through prayer or just be careful with your relationships with others within your household, if you're renting and you have roommates, or at work, because there could be some sort of betrayal that comes in because somebody is, I hate that phrase, shitting where you eat, but it could be that Somebody changes their mind, and it kind of might make the boundaries and the power dynamics change within a situation. Okay, I'm going to move. Ninth house. Pluto. Oh, okay. The Seven of Swords. Let me just put the bigger card in the back there. Okay, so the King of Wands, the Seven of Rods, and the Mountain. There is some of you will be going foreign travel. That will be on the cards for you this year. Maybe you've been holding off because of the past couple of years being crazy or a few years being crazy, but this is definitely travel at a distance. Pluto is also about control, right? It's about power control dynamics. You might have a lot of friends at work that you share your time, your energy, and your love with, right? And one of them might betray you in the workplace in order to gain kind of a power or control over a situation. It's another thing that's coming up with the previous cards. But in this scenario, it seems like there's an interest or some kind of valuing of the taboo, of power dynamics, of weird and strange places as well, at a distance. So those of you who are interested in going into haunted places, traveling to spiritual kind of meccas, you might find yourself defending your beliefs. Defending, those at a distance as well. Those who are not around, the underdog. You're putting a stop to defending yourself over some situation that you're very passionate about, that you're a leader. Maybe you're very passionate about a foreign leader and defending the little people. Maybe they're not treating them very nicely, or there is some sort of it could be some kind of underhanded dealings with power control, even at a distance in the world, and that's inspiring you to be a leader, and so that you can defend people who feel blocked or at a distance. Also, there could be some sort of challenges or obstacles with foreign travel because of some kind of defenses of, I feel like the King of Wands is like, he's a Martian authority, right? He is like the warrior king. So, and the Seven of Swords is like a guy out stealing other people's weapons in battle while they're sleeping. So there's maybe kind of a block to someone's defenses in terms of a foreign affair in regards to politics of some kind. Also, spiritual places that are taboo or that hold a power, and wanting to get a piece of that for yourself, wanting to be involved with an out of this world kind of energy. You might find your spiritual beliefs are challenged by others, and you'll stay strong in how you handle the matter. And I don't want to say that there's anything tricky or underhanded about it, but with Pluto, there's some sort of, it feels like Pluto and the Seven of Swords is almost like the criminal mastermind, kind of like somebody who's in organized crime. Organized crime. The leader of an organized crime syndicate. Difficulty defending. So some of you that are lawyers, this very well could have something to do with that. I have no idea. Or you might have difficulty defending somebody who's done something, who's like caught red-handed doing something not so great. Or maybe you had to do something. It's on a world sphere, though, because with the ninth house, it's very public. It's very out there. It's other people in the world and what they believe. So there's a kind of defending your own beliefs in terms of, what's right and what's wrong in terms of power and control and the details of things. The Seven of Swords is like an investigation of the mind, how we're thinking, kind of trying to be. It also represents kind of like a clever, out of the box kind of thinking. So opening your mind to understanding, different kinds of concepts. Very interesting. Okay. All right. In your 10th house of career, we have Mars in Capricorn, exaltation. Ooh, I really like this. The Emperor. Career and public life. Leader, exalted. The Seven of Wands. Again. The Nine of Cups. And the Path. Okay, so with your career or what you're doing out there in the world, how people see you in the world, people are seeing you as somebody who gets stuff done, that's a leader this year, that is letting down the defenses. Maybe you got defensive about the resources of others and other people sharing your space, your time, your things, and you were on the defense then, but you're letting down your defenses in terms of your public life. Maybe you're putting yourself out there more. Maybe you're getting a little bit of clout in some sort of regard, and so you're getting more attention. There is a dream come true here from choices that we made or a path we've taken. So this is a path that's led you to fulfillment and feeling very content and having overabundance almost of, and also the Seven of Wands, you know, she's in her protective bubble in that one. I feel like you're opening yourself up to people. So from opening yourself up to others and putting yourself out there more and being a little more vulnerable, you're getting what you want and you desire. You're becoming kind of an expert, somebody who's looked up to in regards to what you do. People are talking about you as being the head honcho of whatever you do. And it might be something physical because Mars is there. It could have anything to do with sports, martial arts. It could have to do with bodybuilding because it's Aries ruled, the ruler of Aries. Anything to do with an expert on the body, expert on anything to do with the physical movement of things. Anything where energy is being exuded doing something. So you're getting hands-on. People are seeing you as a leader. You're also becoming more open, more vulnerable in terms of your public life. So you might say you become a journalist and you're out there on TV now. There's some sort of really being exposed for what you do, being seen as an expert, and moving down that path to this dream come true. Okay? Now, what's opposing your career and is your fourth house. Now, maybe at home things have been a little bit troubling, but career's going to be going better. You're putting the past in the past. You're moving forward. You're putting yourself out there. I really like it. You're no longer confused about where you're going as well. You kind of have more of a direction now. Your private life might be a little more confusing though. All right, so the 11th house of friends, humanitarian efforts, innovation, the future. We have Mercury. There'll be advances in communication and technology for you. So you might get new things this year that help you communicate better with others. New computer, new sorry if that made a noise. New mics, new system. I don't know. It'll be something. That Ten of Swords again. Somebody that you've communicated at a distance with, that might be a foreigner, there might be an end of and a separating of ways. The Four of Cups. Temperance. You'll be phasing out an old friend that's kind of, maybe there's been a falling out, or there's been a stop to communication because of a betrayal, and they could be at a distance from you, or they could be moving to a foreign country, and that's why you're kind of not talking as much. You might have become bored or kind of complacent at some point, thinking oh, this is it, they're gone and I barely talk to them now. Or you might be You might have been feeling like they were ignoring you, or that there was an ending to the relationship, and somehow there is some sort of healing and a new beginning with it. It also could be that an old friend parts ways and you stop communicating with them, and a new friend comes in and helps balance things out and heal you from being feeling like stagnant or not having that special person in your life. You might have been looked over in love by somebody. There might have been an unrequited love within the friend sphere during this year coming up, and now you are seeing someone that you normally wouldn't look at in a romantic sense as that person, and that's causing some great healing and balance and patience. So it's like there's a starting over that needs patience, or there's like some kind of alchemization between you and your friend sphere, your circle, how you connect with others on that, bond tribal level. And it seems like there might be a new person that's kind of being added into your mix that might end boredom for you, get you thinking. This person might be very intellectual as well, very, very savant, like very future forward thinking, very different as well. They might be like a little bit odd at first, and then you realize like they're really cool. All right, the 12th house. The sun again, and it's so close. There's sun. Oh my God, this is great. The Four of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. The Devil and the Lily. The unseen realms for you, your spirituality, your hidden enemies. You are getting more honest about an addiction to something in your life. This could be literally an addiction to finances. This could be an addiction to any kind of drug related things. This could be an addiction to moving as well. It could be like literally like, I can't sit still, I can't find peace. You are kind of gaining peace and healing over this kind of push and pull, kind of restrictive energy as well. This also could have to do with your career in some way or form, because a lily can have to do with career in the Lenormand. So in terms of spirit, it can speak of a spiritual career. It can speak of somebody older and wiser. An older or wiser woman could have some significance in your spiritual development. There's an honesty here about restraints or difficulties or challenges or fears. Be getting honest about what you're afraid of as well, in order to take a financial step towards a new path or goal that might be very fruitful or abundant for you. This could be you're getting older and feeling restricted about starting a new life, or you're afraid that you're starting over again in a new place, in a new home, in a new family a little bit late, and you're feeling restricted because, or you've had the fear that your age is going to restrict you. But there's almost like a calmness and peacefulness that comes in over this. I think that will be the challenge, is getting older and having to start over in some kind of physical or tangible way, but it's in a spiritual house. So I think you might be changing careers this year. And so it's kind of changing your whole life, because it's a huge change. You're making a lot of changes this year. You might have some spiritual experiences that are pretty out of this world, and you might be able to share them with a new friend, somebody who thinks kind of out of the box. There's a lot of creativity and energy coming in towards the beginning of your year and at the end of your year. So it kind of comes in with like a lion, and then it ends like a lion. But there's also a peacefulness too. The sun, so many times. The sun, and all in a row. Success, victory, children, leisure, fun, gambling. I mean, there's so many, life, the sun represents all these things. And you really, it's like you're bringing that energy into your life this year. You're being re-energized. Get out in the sun more this year. Go to the beach more this year. Do things. The sun will be something that will give you so much, Taurus. You're the bull that likes to bask in the sun in the prairie. That's the kind of, but like really take any chance you can get. Like really get out there, and it'll help you creatively. It'll help inspire you, and help heal you from any kind of exhaustion you might be feeling in terms of all these different changes that are going on in your life within the next year. It seems like at the beginning of the year there's a woman that's significant, or if you are a woman, you will be very important. You will consider yourself a main priority. You might be having a lot of fun with a girlfriend at the start of this year. There's some sort of work that's being done on your finances, on what you're valuing, what you're learning, information that's coming in. You might love something that you're learning as well, that you might love something you're talking about it a lot too. Home life might be a little bit muddled. Private life, your most personal part of your world this year, might be very confusing at times. There might be some inability to make it work within a family, within a household, within a relationship, or there just is not enough information or there's just not enough, there's just some confusion, there's some fogginess. Also in the home, careful of any kind of gases, smoke, all that stuff within the home. I'm not going to worry anybody. I'm just saying, notice those things this year. in terms of your fifth house, you will have friends. You'll have new friends. There'll be lots of new friends. They may be younger than you. Um, you might have find your old friends boring, and you're going to get new friends that are going to be super exciting, fun, interesting people. Your work. You're being called to change things up. You might have been left out for that promotion for too long, and you're going to change things, or you're going to rise to, from the 5 to the 10 of Pentacles, whatever you're going to be feeling left out, whatever you were left out with, you will be uplifting yourself. I will say this, if you want to make that promotion or you want to make that advancement, I would do something about your physical representation of yourself. How you express yourself. Getting clear on that, understanding that what's completed, how to complete things within your life. You yourself will be completing an idea or a way of thinking this year. You're going to have you might be expressing yourself, or how you dress will change very drastically. Something is going to change about who you are, how you're putting yourself out there in the world, and it will be well received. I think that you might be getting more creative about. Might have more creative ideas on how to put yourself out there in terms of your appearance, and it might have some kind of new, innovative beauty kind of something special about it. There's career is kind of getting major advancements in the health, if not in career, in the health, securing abundance, securing longevity. Okay? 7th house, private relationships with others, learning how to express yourself emotionally. Maybe there's some competition within a household or within a private matter. 8th house, shared resources and the taboo and all things hidden and dark. Power trips with people at work. People might be showing their not so nice side of who they are at the workplace. Continue to do well. Continue to stick to what you need to do. Some kind of dream is being kind of having to do with the dreams. You might have not had dreams like this since you were a child, or you have some kind of astral projection situation. You see a spirit. You are visited by something or someone. 9th house. Traveling to some place far away that's dark. A cave. If you go caving, this is very... Okay, I see that now with there's a cave going on. Cave diving. If you have ever seen the movie The Descent, or you have not, don't watch it before you do that. Yes, some sort of... Just be careful about people when you travel. People might get a little grubby-handed, depending where you go. I mean, anywhere you go, this can happen, but there's some very smart pickpocketers out there all over the world, including our backyard. Crime syndicates, some criminal, could be criminal defense case, could be on the world scope. He'd be a leader of a crime syndicate of some kind. Or a politician, a leader of some kind, could be having a difficult time defending his actions about something he did that was sneaky, underhanded, and done in the dark. Career. Huge progress forward within career. If we're talking job to career, we're talking securing a long-term career that has abundance for you and yours for many years to come. We're also talking about getting yourself out there more, though. So if you want to make the big bucks, it seems like, and get what you want, you have to put yourself out there more. There's a more public sphere, a more public expression of you and your work. So your appearance will be going through a transformation. You'll be putting yourself out there more. You might feel more confident also about sharing who you are with others if you feel your best, you know? So there's this like ability to be reborn. You're being reborn this 2023, Taurus. Home is where the heart is, but yet you're confused about where to call home. You can't go to the past necessarily. You might have to leave your home and you don't want to, but you know, there's something about the home that will be confusing this year. You will figure it out. You might feel like you don't have the resources to take care of the situation, but ask for advice. See what other people have done that's tried and true, okay? And get connected to yourself emotionally. How does it make you feel? What's going on? Really get in tune with that. Spiritual epiphanies, definitely very possible. This is also like the Judgment card. Where is the Judgment card? I just saw it. It's also like this Moon card too, but it's more the Judgment card. Oh, I just want the Judgment card. I know I just saw it. Oh, here it is. 6th house, work. You're putting on a new face, or you're showing your real self now. There's some sort of wildness that comes through. You might be just putting yourself out there more in a new kind of way, a fiery kind of way, and people aren't used to it, but it's gaining you a lot of attention. And because you're putting in more effort in your appearance, changing things up, even though it might be different, it's getting a lot of attention. So new friends, cool friends. Don't let things disturb your peace. Don't feel like you can't break free of any restrictions or addictions or things that kind of hold you in place. There's like a new home. So maybe home hasn't been the most peaceful place, and you're realizing like, I know I don't really want to move. I don't want to put myself to that, but there's like this peace that will come over me spiritually if I do move, or maybe I just need to figure out a way to bring peace to the challenges that I'm having, and kind of figure out a new way. But there is some sort of intervention coming in from a wiser person, maybe a female in your life, that can help you kind of attain a new start in some sort of family setting. The 4 of Wands reminds me of the house, right? It's like a home. It's an attainment of a new home, the Ace of Pentacles and the 4 of. So you might be kind of finding a new place, a new home spiritually as well. You might be feeling like you're kind of getting settled into, you've always been restricted by the past, and what that's been like for you, what's been true for you in the past is no longer holding, your childhood values are no longer holding resonance or truth to you now. So you're not letting that restrict you. You're starting new things. You're meeting new people. And that's great. Taurus, I'm so excited for you. All right. Have a great year. I'll see you in January. Sorry I didn't do December readings. I just, the holidays are crazy. All right. Take care. Bye.